WhiskyJason here, Whiskey Live, Dublin 2025, together with
Serghios Florides, editor of Irish Whiskey magazine.
Very good. So we did a few things during COVID together. You also had a podcast. You've done some stuff there.
Yeah.
Irish Whiskey magazine. If I may hold up the magazine, is this the most recent edition?
That's the one that came out yesterday.
I did not know. I'm going to have to take one with me and read it in the airplane, if I may, on the way home tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, redefining Irish whiskey, the most significant proposed changes in decades. What's the title story all about?
So there are proposed changes to the technical product specification.
But they've been there for how long now?
A long time.
Yes, thank you. I talked with Noel Sweeney. I said 2 years ago, he said, Jason's going to take at least 3 years.
I think
3 years are up, and he said it's going to take at least another 2 to 3 years.
Well, hopefully not. There are consultations going on at the moment, so progress has been made. Yep. So I don't think it'll be more than another 3 or 4 months.
All right, very good.
There are other priorities, I think, at the moment, obviously, with what's going on in the market. But I think this will actually come to a close this year.
So how long have we had the Irish Whiskey magazine?
2016, December 2016.
So next year is going to be 10 years.
Don't remind me, that's scary.
I'm sorry, that's scary, I know, but that's actually true.
The time flies, yeah.
That's true.
So we're well matured.
So are you the only Irish Whiskey magazine out there?
I think, as far as I know, we're the world's only dedicated Irish Whiskey magazine.
So I can say I have the only German-speaking Irish Whiskey podcast.
You do, yeah.
But that's something a little bit different there, yeah.
Yeah, no, very good, yeah. So, but look, you've been going a long time now. And bringing whiskey to all.
That's true. Oh.
Bringing whiskey to all of us.
Thank you. Very good, yes. That's good.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, so how did you get into Irish whiskey?
I think it's, well, my first memories of Irish whiskey would be going and visiting my uncles in London. Yeah. And my dad going over, and my dad would bring over Irish whiskey, and they would be drinking Scotch, and there would be this discussion, which is better. Yeah. So at a very early age, I saw that there was an interest there, and I was a keen drinker of Irish whiskey, and probably Jameson and Powers, and then I got more interested in the history and the heritage behind it, so that's really what I wanted to get into, you know?
Yep.
And then just thought, you know, it's nice to have our own voice for our own historical products, give our own insight. So I started the magazine that way.
So you're a man that has great insight into Irish whiskey as a industry. You're just not promoting one single product. You have a very good overview of what's happening here.
You know, I think it's important that we do have an independent voice. Yep. You know, it would be very easy to be biased one way or the other, but independence is important, of course. You know,
so I said there's a speed bump at the moment with Waterford and with receivership and so on, and I've heard some other things here as well.
Yeah.
What's the forecast for Irish whiskey for the next 2 to 3 years? How difficult will it get?
Look, I think the one issue at the moment is, I think, probably oversupply.
Right.
And of course there is competition. The market hasn't grown at the rate that it was growing.
So 10 to 15% was great, and you plan for 25 to 50%, and you only get 8%. Well,
look, I mean, if you get a leveling off, seems like a complete recession.
Right, and it's not.
It's not, no. So, and I think we've had an over-reliance on the American market.
Right.
So I think 40% of our sales go to America.
I thought it was more, but that's okay.
Yeah, so it is a bit more, but in terms of revenue stream, and you know, I think we need to find other markets, new markets, and in some way, this is probably a good thing, you know, to spread ourselves a little bit thinner rather than being so dependent upon one market. So
I know in America, a lot of people drink Irish whiskey because they have Irish descendants, basically. There's that heritage moment.
Absolutely.
I have now this is my ignorance showing here. Ireland didn't just go to America. What other parts of the world did they go to that there's an American heritage problem or possibilities?
From here to Australia, to Taiwan, Hong Kong, South America, Argentina is a big market.
So we can actually tap into that, maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
wow.
And it's not just, you know, it shouldn't be just the Irish abroad. You know, we need to take it to the level where we're not dependent upon having the Irish heritage people there. So I think it is being recognised that we developed Irish whiskey, or we developed the whiskey category in general. We're the first. We've probably the richest history out there. But I mean, we have to innovate as well at the same time. So I think that's what Irish whiskey can do. It's got a slightly looser definition, so we can be more innovative than I think other companies. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities, and look, when you open 50 new businesses, for 20 of them to succeed in any sector is good. So we can't expect all 50 distilleries to be flourishing.
Right.
I think that's the wrong expectation. But look, there are difficulties that everybody's facing, but there are challenges that I think that we'll meet. So,
very, very true.
Now
we have our wonderful pot still category, which for some reason is not protected.
Well, it is.
How is it protected? Irish whiskey is protected, but I can make pot still whiskey anywhere in the world.
You can't make Irish pot still.
I know, but I think you can buy whiskey, by the way.
No, you can. I mean, yes. It's how do you protect a production method? It's very difficult, So,
okay,
but I think
Irish.
But I think what we have to do is protect Irish whiskey, and Irish pot still whiskey has been recognised for its the originators and the best producers of pot still whiskey. And we have to stay on the ball because there are others snapping at our heels,
So we're at a fair. We had a little pot break here. That's just normal to have here. I just had a 12-year-old West Cork produced whiskey. I just had a 10-year-old Dingle produced whiskey. We're getting the double age statements for Irish whiskey. I think that's a great chance for Irish whiskey to shine.
Absolutely, I mean, the quality is improving all the time. There's a greater variety. And what it also gives us is, I think it gives us a greater opportunity to have more independent bottlers. And also a lot more collaboration between the distilleries should be happening now as well. So we don't need to have a distillery to produce a brand. But, a lot of these new brands are actually independent bottlers. And they've got a greater variety of sourcing. Like look at Two Stacks, for example. So the recession or the downturn in some way plays into their hands. So it's a great time to be an independent bottler.
It is. All right. Now my problem is I define an independent bottler so far as someone who actually has brand names and bottle. I'm Gordon McPhail, and I have here a Linkwood. That's for me an independent bottler. I am a brand, I'm going to say St. Patrick's, and I don't tell you where I got my whiskey from. That's not an independent bottler.
No, that's not. No,
so,
not either.
Can you give me examples of good independent bottlers of Irish whiskey that bottle from the different distilleries so far?
Well, Two Stacks would be one.
Two Stacks would be one. Very good.
JJ Corey.
They're a bonder. They don't tell us where the whiskey often comes from, but they just tell us the age. All right. So.
I think they, they were very detailed in what they gave.
They're very detailed. They actually had to black stuff out of the labels.
There's a lot of brands that I haven't even heard of. There's a lot of new brands that keep on popping up. But they are growing. They have the same competition out there in the marketplace. But look, there is a certain kudos to having your own distillery. There's no doubt about it. And you have much more control over what you do and what you produce. But there again, the independent bottlers, if you want, they can blend from different sources. So, it's different markets and different products.
We can argue a little bit about definitions of what's the bonder, what's the blender, what's the independent bottler, what's the producer, what's the distillery, and so on. We have in Germany now, we have something called Malts of Germany, where they actually, 5 different people came together and they bottled different distilleries' product under their brand, but the name of the distillery is on there. I love that.
I think that's important.
I think we need to have that in Ireland as well. I'm looking for someone who's really doing this successfully, and I have not yet discovered them.
Look, a lot of these things are done under non-disclosure agreements as well, under trade secrets and so forth. But I think we do need, the customer needs to be aware of what they're buying. And, it's up to the regulators as well to be more transparent as well. So I think that will come.
I'm sure.
And it has to come.
It has to come. Very, very good. Now, what other trends can you expect in the next 5 or 10 years here with Irish whiskey? I opened it up as wide as I possibly could.
Well, that is why. Look, I think the growing interest in pot still will continue. I think if the opening up of the product specification comes out, we'll see a lot of very varied whiskies.
So we have here not just oats, but
oats, rye, wheat, barley. And who knows? Maybe we'll see introduction of others. But I think there's a big resurgence in the heritage grains as well. And I guess that was one of the big losses we got from
with
Waterford.
and so on with, I know.
Waterford. So that's a shame. And I really hope that somebody comes in there and takes that over.
I really do too.
And not only because of the whiskey, but the farmers as well, the independent farmers that were supplying, that were producing specialised grains. It's really important that it came back.
And Ireland may be the best place in the world to grow barley. So
Absolutely,
I mean, come on.
yeah, it is. It has a fantastic climate, fantastic soil for that. So I do think we have the best barley in the world.
All right. Online, we can see that we can order the magazine. There's also a digital subscription.
There's a digital and there's a paper subscription.
Now, tell us a little bit about the digital subscription for all our outside Ireland viewers.
Okay, so with the digital subscription, what you get is for the same price as a print subscription, you get all the back issues as well.
Right.
So you get to read them all online. Plus, in certain cases, we'll have additional content as well. So we're looking to expand the digital content, and we're in talks with an independent provider as well to bring that to a wider audience.
Very, very good. And you got the paper edition.
The paper one gets printed here in Ireland and gets posted from Ireland.
Good. And for 49 euros is what for Ireland, and for foreign postage?
At the moment, it's 59.
59 for foreign.
Yeah.
All right.
So
very, very good.
Yeah.
Still worth it.
Look, I think, like I said, there's 116 pages of content in there with 20 pages of it are advertising. The rest is in-depth content. So
it is.
You know.
So how many writers do you have at the moment?
There's about 7 or 8.
7 or 8, and you're the editor, and you do all that. Well, that's something I've never seen before. That's true. Cigar and Irish whiskey pairing.
Well, that's an interesting one. Yeah, so we're trying to bring it a wider audience. So we've introduced more food, more cocktails, and cigars as well. And look, we're constantly evolving.
Fabulous. The Irish whiskey definitions timeline. I haven't seen that online yet. I think that's great. Did you create that yourself?
That's our own. No, that's our own.
Okay, because that's very, very good. Because there's a lot of myths and other information out there that's not always true.
That's a very detailed. So reminds me of the underground tube map. But
yeah, it does. But it looks like something Peter would have done here from Blackwater. You know, that would have been his handiwork.
Yeah, no, that would. I'm very lucky. We've got a great graphic designer, and Jorg is his name, and he's done a great job. So.
Very, very good.
And great writers, I think. And I think it's important that we have local writers.
They're really involved here.
Yeah.
All right, anything I didn't ask you'd like to talk about?
No, really, no, and congratulations on you. Continued success in your part. I'm a big fan, so keep it going.
9 years now, I've been doing this.
That's mad.
Thank you.
No, like my dad said, starting something is easy, keeping it going is where the real challenge is.
Sometimes it really is, but it's still a passion in my heart. I just love Irish whiskey. I just love helping other people to learn more about it. That's why I'm here.
Well, look, and I love that it's not just Irish whiskey.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think real Irish whiskey lovers, they're not just Irish whiskey lovers. They love all whiskey, you know. But okay, we have a bias to our own.
We do.
But that's only because it's the best.
Very good. WhiskyJason here, together with
Serghios
from
Irish Whiskey Magazine.
www.irishwhiskeymagazine.com.
Bye-bye. Thank you.